Hey legends, and welcome to another episode of Chat with Matt, and coming to you late on a Wednesday night, which is a first, and it's my absolute pleasure to talk to Wayne and Lorelai Burns of Burns Outdoor Obstacle Training, which is a world-class obstacle racing facility west of Sydney in Australia. And if you're involved in obstacle racing in Australia, chances are you've come across with the Burns, or you've come across the Burns before. Either you've been out to their amazing facility and had a play on the obstacles, or you've seen them volunteering, or you've seen them running around a course. So I'll bring them on. How you going, guys?
Hi.
Hey, Matt.
We're good, thanks. How are you?
Good to hear. Very well. Very well.
Good.
Can you see me and hear me all okay?
Yep.
Yeah, it's all good.
All good.
Awesome. And as usual, guys, let me know if you are watching live with a hashtag live. Let me know if you're watching a replay with a hashtag replay, and I can bring the comments up on screen, just like Josh Gossy, who ran Melbourne Marvel with me dressed as Deadpool over the weekend. Hopefully you recovered all right, mate. And give me some love, guys. Let me know who's online. I've got a couple of people watching. So thank you for taking the time to chat to me tonight, guys. How's your Wednesday been?
Yeah, busy.
Keeping busy.
Busy?
Just never moment.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, bit of training, bit of house cleaning, boring stuff mainly.
Cool. What did the what did the training look like today?
Just a 5K run, squeezed in between a few other things, just a lap around the block. That was pretty much it today.
Perfect. Is the
In the middle of the day.
Yeah, nice. It was actually a nice day today. The weather's been mental, so it was good to get a little bit of normalcy.
Yeah.
And I was talking to you guys about how this all started out there. I obviously come out pretty regularly and play on your amazing facility and all the obstacles out there, and talking to you both and hearing a bit of the backstory. It's really interesting. So I'd love it if you could give us a little bit of a rundown. How did all of this happen?
Do you want to do this one?
Yeah.
All
Right. So most of it's Lorelai's fault. She
Threw you under the bus straight
went
away.
out and started getting into her fitness career. Started with both of us didn't know what the word fitness meant most of our life.
How long ago were we talking?
I was 38, so it was probably 8 years.
No, it was about 10 years ago, because it was in line with our son's diabetes diagnosis. So that's what kicked it off for me. Maybe I'll start and then Wayne can. Is that all right? Yeah, okay. All right. So I'm mindful of not taking over because I talk too much. So our son was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes 10 years ago. He was 3 years old. For those who don't know anything about diabetes, it's an autoimmune illness, meaning the body's attacking itself. So it's just, an unfortunate thing. So that to me gave me a bit of a kick up the arse. Like, I guess I saw that he had this horrible disease that he had nothing to do with. He didn't bring it on himself. It wasn't his fault, but it's incurable. He has to live with it for the rest of his life. And the best thing we could do was be role models and sort of model that healthy living to him. So I thought, well, whilst he doesn't have a choice, I do have a choice about my own health and helping him also be the healthiest person he can be with what he has. I had no idea. I've never been a fitness girl. Like I told you, used to wag school every week when it was sport time. PE, yeah, I had every excuse in the book. They were like my no-go subjects. So I had no idea. I just thought they were like a other species of person. So I didn't know what to do, but I went and just got some like cheap stuff off eBay, set up a little gym in my garage. My children were 3 and 4 or whatever they were at the time, little. So basically I didn't really have a lot of time in the day except for when they went to bed. So often my training, which I had no idea what I was doing, was at like when, 9 o'clock at night. I'd get in there and I'd just do something. Like I just started walking on the treadmill, using the bike, doing bits and pieces, putting DVDs on to try and keep myself in there. And also then I was watching what I was eating. Now, I never counted calories. I'm not a fan of counting calories or doing anything that's too, out there. Like, I don't like to think too much about what I do, I guess. I just knew what was not good food and what was good food. I was getting pretty informed in food education due to my son's diagnosis. Any diabetes mum or dad, or mainly mum probably, will tell you that they get pretty good at knowing, like, I can look at a plate of food and tell you roughly what the carbohydrate content is of most things. So, you get, so I learned a bit more about, eating high protein things, eating low carb things, all that sort of stuff. So I was just applying what I did know, and it was never about losing weight. Sure, I had weight to lose, but that wasn't my goal. It was to be a healthy person. And 10 kilos fell off without caring that it was falling off, to be honest.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how I started. Then I'll hand over to Wayne, because then his journey began after that. Yeah.
So what were you doing all this time, Wayne?
Sitting on the lounge with a beer.
And just before you do jump in, I've just got a couple of people giving some love. So Donna's saying hi. Josh is saying it was very hot in the costume. Maddie Probe's saying live. Tammy Cox live. Mike Spiteri live. They've all been out to your facility, I think. Mike Spiteri saying his niece also has type 1 from the age of 10. Maddie Probes is saying too, absolute legends. I went out there to Bryngelly last year and saw Wayne's amount of medals. He's been a huge inspiration. And Lorelai are such wonderful people. And Funzi's just jumped on and said, see you both on Sunday. So I think she's coming out to train with you guys. So sorry to interrupt there, Wayne. We've got more people commenting, but let's go. So you're on the lounge. You were spectating at this point.
Eventually got some type of inspiration. I think it was a moment in the mirror type thing, looking at myself, and then the condition of Javier, our son, the role model type thing. So, I stepped up, got on the treadie and started getting some type of distance done, because I had a lot more weight to lose at that point than what Lorelai did. So, just pretty much anything I do in the deep end. It was Dr. Google, how do I lose weight? What training methods do I need to do to do it? And there's a lot online. So, I started setting out some pretty crazy interval type workouts and stuff for myself just to get that point done.
Yep.
In the meantime, Lorelai had been out and done a couple of events. So we're talking probably back in 2013. She'd gone out with a friend and done...
the mud run.
No, it wasn't a mud run.
I did the
Warrior Dash. So Warrior Dash, we're in Australia at that stage. She went and done Warrior Dash, and then a mud run was another popular event that was happening at that time out at Horsley Park. She then, after doing a couple of them, she got online and booked us both in for Tough Mudder.
Awesome. And what year was this? So when was the Warrior Dash? When was the mud run?
I don't know.
2013.
It's something like that.
Something like that.
Cool.
So that was 8 months before the event, and like I say, I was still trying to lose a lot of weight at that stage. One day, first day, she walked up, she said, I booked you in for an event called Tough Mudder, and I kind of went, what's that? She said, it's a mud run, you got to do this and that, and I was like, all right, cool. Next day, she come back to me and said, that Tough Mudder event that I told you about, it's 21 Ks, and I started swearing at her a lot. I've been a truck driver all my life, so I've driven lots of big distances and knew that 21 Ks was a long way for a person to go.
Yeah.
So I started shitting myself at that point. Anxiety and all the rest jumps in, so which kind of was beneficial. So I trained a little bit harder. I was trying to lose the weight to try and prepare myself for the Tough Mudder event. Next minute, you're on the start line, heart rate's through the roof, shitting yourself completely about what's going to happen. Step after step, we made it. We got across the finish line, copped a few electric shocks along the way, and the rest is history from there. It was pretty much get on Google from that point in, entered nearly every running race and obstacle event that we possibly could after that, and worked out pretty quickly that you can cook yourself pretty quickly by entering every event with 2 weeks in between events and 3 weeks, and he's not recovering properly. So you go through a pretty quick learning point at that stage. So back it off a bit and start training.
And how much weight are we talking, Wayne? Because I've obviously only ever seen you the size you are now. How much weight did you lose?
So it ended up being about 30, 32, 35, somewhere around that.
Wow.
That I lost. So
it's a lot of weight.
It was a good time. Yeah, a good time for me in my life. I'd never, even from early primary school, I was always overweight. Too much Milo back in them days. Lost the weight. We kind of held back for a while on Spartan Race. I'd done the Googling on Spartan Race, a little bit worried about entering that because there was a fair few events back in them days that there was a lot more choice to enter an obstacle event. So held back, as I said, a little bit worried about the events, or Spartan Race in particular, because I'd done so much Googling on it.
Yeah.
That moment where I'm not fit enough to do it, so held back. Eventually we stepped up to the line, got a Spartan Race done, literally kicked our asses. Did it the way that Paul wanted it done back in the days. There was no rookie passes or anything back then, so you just had to do your 30 burpees, didn't matter who you were, and if you failed, 30 burpees. So we did it that way. It was a hot day, the day that we did it.
It's a hard day.
Really, really hit them dark spots throughout the event where you really doubt yourself. What am I doing here? This is really bad.
Yeah.
And again, you push through it, you get shit done, and you benefit mentally, physically, and everything from it. So we cross the finish line, you get your beer, your shirt, your medal, and that sparked the love for Spartan Race. I couldn't move for 4 days after it. Put my hands above my head or squat properly or anything.
Yeah.
But it was that moment in life where the love of Spartan Race come upon me, and I loved it that much that I wanted to do a lot more events, but never wanted to feel like I did after that first event. So that hence trained specifically for Spartan Race, hence obstacles start getting built in the front yard.
Yeah.
And that's where the story then goes on to.
Yeah, awesome. And I can certainly relate to that. It's a strange thing when you I think the 2018 Enduro, the 24-hour Enduro, I think I woke up, the day or two after, and I still couldn't walk properly. And they released the early release tickets, and I bought the tickets for the next year, and I still couldn't walk. And I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? What's wrong with me? It's so strange to explain to people, during the middle, you're like, this is the hardest thing I've ever done, but you get to the finish line and you're trying to work out where you can do the next one.
Yeah.
So when did you start stringing ropes up in your backyard?
Yeah, it would have been a couple of weeks after doing that first Spartan race. Start just buying a few ropes to string between the trees, recreate a rope traverse.
Yep.
I put a ladder up and put it on a scaffold to recreate monkey bars to try and work out how to get them done. Again, Google, how do I do a rope climb?
Yeah.
Learning the footlock techniques. That same rope that I climbed the rope on, I learned to teach myself how to climb the rope. I then tied a weight to it, so I then had a Herculean hoist as well as a rope climb. So it was a multitasking obstacle, so I was able to do two things on one thing, which was good.
Awesome.
That moment of madness, Lorelai looked at it. We both looked at each other and said, let's see if we can take these obstacles here and put them out the front to possibly see if any other obstacle racing people might want to come and train with us.
Yeah.
And that's when the real Starter Burns obstacle training come from.
It might have started with a joke, but I don't know, just seemed to I don't know. It escalated fast.
I think all the best business ideas do.
It's like, oh, let's do this. Oh yeah, let's actually just.
Let's just get it done. And was it a business from the start? Like, did you sort of go, I think we could do this and people will come and train, or was it how do we get people from the community to come and join us? Like, what was the start of the motivation?
We thought there'd be people like us. Like, we thought there was all these people out there doing races that had nowhere to train. And because that's what we were like. We were like, we're looking at obstacles for the first time in races and just going, what do you do with that? Yeah. And then watching other people and go, all right, we'll give that a crack. So I guess, we thought there'd be this wide community out there just waiting to come into our place, which wasn't the case at all. That's who we thought our market was, and that's a very small part of our market, to be completely honest. Yeah. But that's who we were building it for, and we kind of thought there's all these, and we thought adults, like we weren't even thinking about children, and children probably make up 70 at least % of our business, to be honest. So that's kind of what we were thinking when we built it, and we just sort of listened to people as we went, and people were saying, oh, I want to bring my kids here, and it would be great if they could do it. And then we were like, oh, okay. And then, other things, like, and then people were asking about birthday parties, and we're like, really? So it was like, they were telling us how to kind of run our business, so we just sort of listened and adapted.
Listening to your market. It's good.
Yeah. Well, we had no idea what we were doing, so people were telling us.
It's awesome. How long do you think the obstacles have been there? How long has it sort of been that set up in the front yard? Obviously, you add to it, and just since I've been going, I've seen you add lots of stuff. How long has it been in that front yard, would you say?
So I just worked it out while Wayne was talking, so that's why I'm going to jump in. So we will be open 5 years this September, awesome. But he was building it the year prior to us being open, so he probably started in 2014.
Yeah, cool. What did you open with?
Yeah.
So the course out the front was pretty much, it was a 4-foot wall, the weaver, 6-foot wall, over and unders, rope climb, herc hoist, monkey bar rig, the rope traverse, the apex monkey bars, and the slip walk, and the tie drag.
Yeah, cool. So you opened with a fair bit down there.
Yeah, I was getting pushed by some obstacle friends before I had that many obstacles up. They're going, you've got enough. And I'm like, no, it needs to be a complete course. I want there to be timed runs through it. I want something to be legit and it to be something that you're pretty much not going to get bored. Like when you come here and you do, let's say, 5 obstacles, and you're like, there's 5 obstacles there, and it's pretty boring. You do them 5 obstacles and you want to go home because you're just bored of it. So most of them were built to a point where not so much that they were unachievable, but I made most of them bigger and badder than what they would be at your regular event. So train hard, race easy type deal. Yeah,
cool. And a little bit more love coming through. Mike's just saying, inspire others to be the best you can. Awesome, guys. Adrian Mannix saying he's live. Nathan Ange, Spartan Jedi, I think. Angela, she's moved away, but I think she used to come out and train with you guys a fair bit. I think she's up in Brisbane now. Adrian Janiger is jumped on, said he's live. He took out 4th place at Marvel on the weekend. Mike's just said 35 kilos. Congratulations. He had something similar as well, Mike. He was one of my early face-to-face PT clients, and he's lost about 25 kilos as well. So he had a very similar sort of journey to you as well, Wayne. Adrian's just said amazing. I've got heaps of love coming through, guys. Just give me a sec while I get through all this. Matty Probes has said, one of my favourite moments of 2019 was receiving my Spartan Trifecta weekend medal from Lorelai at Bright. It was great to return the favour and hand medals to the Burns family at the Marvel Stadium finishing line last week. And I saw a post, and I'm gonna paraphrase the hell out of it, but it was the first race you guys did as a couple, and then there was the family post on the same day years later. Am I getting that right?
Yeah, it was to the day.
Tell us about that.
Yeah, well, it came up on my memories the day that we did the Marvel one. We did that as a family. And then when I looked at my old memories, however many years it was it 5 years? I can't remember what it was. Yeah, like that came up, like our first couple Spartan race 5 years ago. And then I was like, oh, look, we did it as a couple. And then we first did it as a family 5 years later. So, yeah, we have done your challenge as a family before, but I think that was our first Spartan race together. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And
Just coincidence.
yeah.
Back at ANZ Stadium.
So is that the first Spartan you guys did? ANZ?
No,
it was
Picton.
Picton.
I was going to say, because when you said it kicked your ass, I was like, that sounds a bit more like Picton.
Yeah, I remember that race. I don't know if it's an accurate memory because I wasn't overly fit, but I remember that barbed wire crawl was hell. Like there was two, and the first one was like this sludgy mud, and we kept sliding back down the hill as we're crawling. So Wayne, I remember Wayne was in front of me. I was trying to push his foot. Like we were trying to do teamwork to get up this hill, and then there was another barbed wire crawl, but they were both like uphill and long and small, like low to the ground, and it felt like hell. Like it felt like it was never going to end.
Yeah.
But again, I don't know if that's a reflection of my fitness at the time as well. That may be influencing that memory. I'm not sure.
You suffered maybe a little bit more than you would now.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe not.
I think we can all relate to that. It's a very humbling sport, obstacle racing. You can think you're going all right, and then do a race, and it just kicks the shit out of you, and you're like, okay, I've got a lot of work to do. So Miranda's just saying, hey guys, so nice to see you both. Miranda Hill, your front yard rocks. Sharon's just saying, will you be open at Burns on Friday, day before Oberon, if we wanted to drop in and have a go on the Twister?
Leaving your training a little bit late for the Twister.
I think she's I think she's just, because Sharon's from Brisbane, so I'd say she just wants to have a bit of a taste of it before she risks burpees the next day.
In the daytime, we will be, because we have a school that comes every Friday as well. So in the daytime, our normal evening session won't run because Wayne will be heading up to Oberon.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Are you having a race there, Wayne?
Yeah, I've been having a crack at the beast.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. You'll see me there. I don't know what I'll be dressed in yet, but you'll see me. Harvey Nutt's just letting me know that he's live, letting us know that he's live as well. And so you said that the course sort of evolved out there. You've obviously added a lot of obstacles over time from the first obstacles that you listed. So what have you added since then?
You got the Olympus is in there. We got 24 meters worth of monkey bars with the Spartan simulation through the middle part of that with the wider poles. So
and like a scaffolding sort of different height setup.
Yes. Yeah. Different. Being able to adjust the poles to different widths, which was a good one at Marvel. The last couple of poles were pretty further.
Yeah, they were a bit sneaky, weren't they? They got wetter and further apart.
Yeah. The Ninja Warrior area, the warped walls and salmon ladder and all that's the evolution of. We were lucky with Ninja Warrior. We had a 14-foot warped wall before they announced Australian Ninja Warrior to be filmed. So we had the warped wall and we had the salmon ladder. So at that stage before, we'd heard rumours that Australian Ninja Warrior was possibly going to be happening. And they're a bit of a no-brainer obstacle as well. Like when we've got the insurance and all the rest to have the big obstacles that we've got out the front, why not build a Ninja Warrior area as well? And so we had that, and then from that we were lucky enough to have a lot of the Season 1 ninjas come out because there wasn't many places for them to train at that stage on obstacles. And that's when pretty much all the obstacle gyms around Australia, when Ninja Warrior did hit, because a lot of the Australians didn't know about obstacle events or anything like that, when Ninja Warrior hit Australian TV, that's when we all got a big boost.
Yep.
So the Australian public just went, oh, Google obstacle training.
Yeah.
So yeah, we got a big boost throughout that, and I know majority of the obstacle gyms, the owners of the obstacle gyms around Australia, and everyone just stood back and went, shit, what just happened then? And it was Ninja Warrior hitting TV that
popular.
Gave us all a big boost for our businesses,
yep.
which was really cool.
How much do the kids get into the ninja stuff? Because I know it's a big part of a lot of the obstacle gyms that I know, and I've seen kids out playing at your facility there. How much do the kids love the ninja stuff?
Heaps. Yeah, look, I reckon it's really cool whether they go to us, whether they go to someone else, whether they're building it in their backyard, whatever. Mm. But the fact that their inspirational role models are people that are keeping fit and strong and doing cool stuff is awesome. Like, I just reckon that's good. It's getting them off devices, getting them off technology a bit. I think besides them coming here, which is awesome, but I love hearing like the stories, and the kids show me photos of like their stuff that they build at home, and or they got their pop to build a warped wall for them, and like it's just cool to listen to. Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah, so,
hearing that kids are inspired to by fitness people. And getting
Ninja Warrior's done. Yeah.
I'm really hoping they do something similar with Spartan in Australia that maybe isn't that TV show.
A controversial topic.
But because it's a televised sport over in the States, and only sort of diehard racers would probably even know that. But if they ever do something out here, I imagine you're going to see the same sort of boost. The more attention there is around it, because it is still a very niche sport.
Yeah.
And some of the other obstacles that I can think of that you might have mentioned, you've got a full Z wall out there, which is the Z wall before it became the easy Z wall, that you can run through now. And you've got all sorts of like different records and stuff for the obstacles. So I know there's the orange Z wall out at Burns there. How many times has someone gone around that?
Yeah, I think it's up around the 15 laps mark at the moment,
which is crazy.
Yeah, it's a lot of time.
And you've got a circuit there that people come and try to break the record. I think I saw Hunty have a crack at it. And Hunty, if you're watching, you didn't get it that day, mate. Describe the circuit to us.
So it was pretty much that original course that we went that I described to you before.
Yep.
The time lap involves the 4-foot wall, the weaver.
What's the weaver for anyone who doesn't know what it is?
Oh, no. Sorry?
What's the weaver for anyone who doesn't know what it is?
Weaver. So you've got to weave your way over and under poles with your feet off the ground. So
suspended.
You got to hold yourself off the ground and get your body over and under poles. So it's a good one. Challenges mentally and physically. So you really got to think about it. So then you go weaver, 6-foot wall, over and unders. Back in the day, Spartan used to have the soft dead ball carry. It was 55 kilos for men, 35 kilos for women. So we had that after the over and unders. So that's still the course at the moment, if you want to come and challenge the time record. So it's 55 kilo carry, it's 10 metres there and back. From there, it's a run up to our rope climb, 5.5 metres up into the sky, hit the bell, come back down. And it's over our big cargo net. The next one is the 8-foot wall. So you're going over that. From that, you're onto the balance beam. And with our course, if you fall off or can't complete an obstacle, it's 10 burpees as a time penalty. From there, balance beam, tyre drag. It's a turn around and over the slip wall. So slip wall, next one is the Z wall. So this is where it comes down to I call it grip strength valley. It really takes it out of your grip strength. So Z wall rope traverse, so that's 16 metres worth of rope traverse to get across from end to end. Then you come off that down to the monkey bar rig, which has monkey bars, rings, and then a bit of straight pole to get through that whole rig. down to the apex monkey bars. So just hit 4 obstacles in a row, which are very grip strength intensive. So a lot of lactic building up in the forearms by the time you put your hand up for the first apex monkey bars. From there, drop off that onto the tire drag. So it's probably about 30 to 40 metres worth of dragging a tyre up and down a hill. From that, there's a bit of a run. So now we're just running back up to our rope traverse area, which is a sand pit.
Yep.
So we're getting down, doing a bear crawl in the sand pit,
Do the
around
lap
the
around.
outside of it. Yep. Second last obstacle is the spear throw. So super fatigued, hitting that, heart rate through the roof. And then the very last is the Herc hoist.
Yeah. So
Back to the,
finish off the forearms.
yeah, absolutely.
And that's, you've basically just described probably the equivalent in obstacles in a beast, Spartan beast. Maybe a super. What's that about? 25 obstacles,
Yep.
maybe. What's the speed that people are getting through this course? What's the record?
So it's down to 5 minutes 30 at the moment. That's Quinton Gill. He's got that one.
The Gilly goat.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's,
And Woolly's not far behind him. Brendan's right up there, but as well.
yeah. So
Brendan owned it for a while.
So usually the right up there on the podium, those 3 boys. But yeah, you've basically just taken all the obstacles out of a Spartan and put them into 5 minutes, and a little bit of a run as well. So that gives you a bit of an idea, if anyone's watching and they haven't been out to Burns, what you can experience out there. And how do you guys do the training out there? How is it structured? So if somebody wants to come along to Burns, what are they going to expect?
So generally, when they book in, if they haven't been here before, we always give them a walkthrough, like an induction through the course. Just show them everything. Some things like the Weaver, for example, are quite confusing to look at. Like we were at the races when we had no idea. Yeah, so we want to show everybody how things are done, give them options. If you can't do it this way, you could try it this way. If you just can't do it at all, these are the exercises that you may need to do at home to get that sort of strength or grip strength or whatever it is. So we always like to sort of, help people as much as with whatever they tell us they're training for or doing or aiming for. So yeah, we just do that walkthrough, and then we're always like around. Generally, people come for either a 2 or a 3 hour session, depending on what they decide to book in for. And like we just say, come and grab us if you need more specific help. Obviously, we're doing that as a group generally, but then we'll specifically go to people, help them with the footlock technique or whatever it is that they're wanting to learn. Sit with them. Help people over the cargo net. I can't tell you how many people I've climbed over the cargo net with adults and children. Whatever they need, I'm like, we're here for you, whatever you need. If people just then want to come back after they've done that induction just because they want to train specifically for a particular thing, we just say, grab us if you need us, or some people just want to independently do their own thing. So it's kind of then up to that individual. But yeah, we've got lots of equipment here as well. So we've got like the sandbags, the buckets. We try and get as much specific stuff that people will experience in their races for the people that are training specifically for something, so they can replicate it as much as they can and get their techniques or training right. So, they're having the best race that they can have. So like our regulars will just come here and then they've kind of got their own workout in their head of what they want to do. We just leave them to it, cheer them on. Long way, and that's it.
Awesome. And it's such a big part of obviously obstacle racing, the obstacles, but so many of the obstacles just have these little technique hacks, these little things that you can do with your body to make it a little bit easier, and it's always good to see you guys instructing people out there, and just the community of people that I usually see turning up too, like the hunts are regular out there, and they're always helping somebody with something. It's just a good community, a good group of people that are all helping each other get better. And if you are serious about your obstacle racing and you're local, or if you're traveling through Sydney, stopping in and doing a skill session here and there is a really good way to supplement your training, and will make all the difference. It can if you take 60, 90 burpees out of somebody's race, that can be change their experience with a Spartan race completely. I know I usually train people to avoid burpees, or to not have to do burpees, because I would rather do that first. So getting out to a course out where you guys are and getting those skills, if you don't have any access to the obstacles, is a really good way to take your racing to the next level. So,
sorry,
no.
I was just going to say, just even to talk to people that have done races, like,
Definitely.
we get a lot of people that are signed up for the first time and they're about to wear their old sneakers or something for a race, and we're like, no, don't do it, get some old trail shoes, and they, will come up after and they'll go, oh, you saved my ankles, like, I don't think I would have broke something if I wore my sneakers. So it's just even those little things. And I often tell people, sure, like, we know a lot because we see a lot here and we learn, but we're always learning off other people too. We're not like we know everything. So someone will come here and show us something that we've never thought of, and we're like, oh, that's really cool, never thought to do that before, So it should be a community where we always learn from each other.
Definitely the way it should be. I learn from my clients as well, and that's I think good coaching. You should always be ready to take any opinion you've got and replace it with a better one. So it is an awesome community out there, and we've got a little bit more love coming through. Kerry's letting us know she's live. Maddie Probes, what's the next obstacle you guys would like to build out there?
I put him on a band.
You put Matt on a band? Go home, we need to sleep.
I'm like, we built a lot. He built a lot last year.
Oh, you put Wayne on a band?
Yeah, I just support him from the side. But yeah, I'm like, let's just chill for a while. And like, he added lots of new things to the ninja area. So I don't know if we have any immediate plans. I'm sure you've got some. Do you have any ideas in your head for long-term builds?
No, not as yet. We've got to sit back for a bit, and we've been through some hard times lately with all the weather and stuff that we've dealt with. So sit back for a while and just train on what we've got. We will build later. So last year I built a huge addition to our Ninja Warrior. It's all undercover and all the rest. So there's heaps more room in there now for me to then throw up some Ninja Warrior obstacles in there. But again, it's one of the things when you're constantly building on your business, you've got to start looking after the home as well. So
definitely. We got to get ourselves out of like Wayne said, it's been a really tough few months. We had the smoke. We had so many cancellations because of the smoke, and then the heat, and then the floods, and it was just like one thing after another. So honestly, our business has just been in dribs and drabs because we've had to eliminate so many things that just weren't able to happen due to safety, weather, everything else. So
100%.
It'll get better. There is light at the end of the tunnel, and then we might start planning things again.
And then look, people will come back to the fitness. Like there's smoke and floods, and a lot of people, have their lives sort of turned a little bit upside down for a little while. Eventually that will all stabilise back out. But I've certainly had a couple of clients myself who have been flooded, and I'm, messaging them saying, you got to exercise this week. And they're like, well, I got flooded. It's like, well, that's more important, But it will it will stabilise out, definitely. And what have you guys got coming up? I think I saw a Facebook event for pre-training for O'Brien.
Yep, this Sunday at 11 o'clock, 11 till 2.
Cool.
So we often run like a race prep session before a race coming up. Whenever we can, we try to run one before Melbourne, but it was like 45 degrees, got cancelled. But we'll try again this weekend.
It's been crazy.
So the idea is basically, it wouldn't be much unlike what a normal session, except that we're making it a bit more Spartan specific. The information that we share, talk a bit more about gear and stuff like that, which we wouldn't normally do unless someone asked us specific questions in a session. The good thing about these sessions too is that it often brings people together. We've had people come as single racers and form teams because they've come to these sessions and formed, friendships for life and stuff from from coming to us first. So that's, you know, they're the things that warm our hearts. We love hearing stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of cool when people like learn from each other, even if they're at different levels of where they're training, what they're doing, what race, you know, whether they're in elite or whether they're in open. I just think it's cool to kind of bring everyone together, and
Definitely.
everybody, you know, the Spartan community, everyone always helps each other and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So just as a promotion, they're a cool session to come to.
Yeah, definitely. I come down there when I can. I'd be coming this weekend, but I'm off to the Philippines in the morning for a Sprint Super Hurricane this weekend. But Funzi will be out there. So I think a couple of OMR clients will come out and have a play for the day.
Yeah.
But what's the website, guys? If anyone's looking to book, and I'll just type it into the chat box here, just in case anyone's looking to come along this Sunday.
Just boot.net.au.
.net.au, because they are limited. These sessions, that they are limited to how many positions. So there's still positions for the session on Sunday.
Yes, there is still positions.
Cool.
Yeah, no, they're all good.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah.
So
we usually try and keep it to about 30. We want to, we don't like to overcrowd or, you know, anyone get lost. So we like to keep it to around 30 generally, just so everybody has a lot of time to ask whatever they want to. And no one's going to get too crowded on the course because it's like 2 acres of land. Yeah.
It's
Lots of things.
a big facility out there, guys. Like when you think about when you know, and for anyone who hasn't been out there, when you think about an obstacle gym, it's all very compact. Like ninja gyms, they're, you know, usually jammed into a factory unit or something like that. Like you guys are on 2 acres out there. Like it's a big course. You can actually simulate a full obstacle race out there if you like. And do it.
Yeah. Often people will do like a training session where they do an obstacle, a run lap, an obstacle, a run lap, and then they're getting like 300-400 meters in between, which kind of replicates a kind of race.
Yeah. Which is cool. So if anyone wants to get a little bit more specific with their obstacle training, you know, you can take a couple of friends and go out there and plan a little obstacle course, and I'm sure Wayne and Lorelai will help you out with planning out a little course if you're not sure.
Take on the time lap.
Perfect. Take on the time lap. It only takes 5 minutes.
No, but we've had people run that time lap, and you got your fasties coming in 5 minutes, but we've also had people finish in 45 minutes as well.
Yeah.
So every speed in between, you know. So everyone's out there. They're going to dig deep and try and get the obstacles done as they're getting through it.
Yeah. And one of the things you said before that just sort of came back was helping people over the cargo nets, and you know, it's funny and it's easy to laugh, but that's a high cargo net out there. And I know some people who I've taken through cargo nets that are fucking terrified of heights, that I've sort of had to say, just shut your eyes and climb and trust me. And then you get them to the top and say, open your eyes. How tall is that cargo net?
Yeah, how tall is it?
It's about 5 meters.
Yeah, so that's big
to get up to the top. Yeah.
So it's probably bigger than anything it'd be about the same as a container cargo net.
Yeah, a little bit higher than a container.
Higher.
Yeah.
But obviously the containers aren't there, so it's a little bit more open.
Yeah.
You can see everything. It's a little bit more daunting.
Yeah.
It is more daunting, and we see it a lot. And I guess I can relate a lot. I'm not a fan of heights, and I often tell people the story of when Wayne was building it, and I had to go up and hold a drill for him while he put the bars, because there was no safety bars, and it was a windy day, and I was crying up there, I was like terrified.
Yeah.
So it's only because I go up there all the time now that I'm comfortable with it, and that's what I use, is telling people the more you do these things, the better they get. And I always say, if you need to come back down, go up a bit, come back down, count the squares, whatever you got to do. Like, you can take as long as you want. You're not in a race situation.
Exactly, and I think that's the biggest thing of going out to like a facility like yours and training, is there's no pressure. When you're in a race and you're redlining and you're puffed and you're cramping, and then you get to the rope and you're going, what's that fucking technique I saw that dude do in the video again, and you just can't get it to work. Whereas out at Burns, you can sit on the tyre there and you can just practice the hook for 10 or 15 minutes while having a chat. So it's, there's no pressure. And that's when you can just get over your fear of heights one step at a time. And that's really cool. So we've got a little bit more love coming in. Harvey, having total course envy here in SA, we'll have to visit. At least you'll get a Spartan race there this year, Harvey. Hopefully I'll see you at Bright again, mate. Nathan, Angela, thank you for both continuously inspiring us. Always nice bumping into you guys during races, even when I was in the medic tent. See you guys soon. Thank you, Matt, for this live chat. They are my favourite power couple. Lovely words.
That's so sweet.
Yeah. Miranda said, so worth visiting. She'll be back as soon as she can after your calf heals, Miranda. And Matty Probes has just said, watch out for Wayne as a volunteer, especially on the bucket carry. You make sure you filled it to the brim. Were you? He must have been talking about Bright. Were you whipping people, Wayne?
Well, we didn't really have to. We were informing people before they were taken off on the bucket. Fill it up. Like don't try and cheat it here. Fill it up. And like for the people that were trying to leave the fill up area underfilled, the actual weight of pebbles that it took to then put it to a point where you were going to get back and the pebbles were going to be over the top of it would have been less than 500 grams.
Yep.
Like you're talking hardly any weight, and we only had a few people who had to really call out, and a couple of people tried to run off after it, but majority of it, people were giving us good feedback on being extremely fair and just putting it out there at the start. Just make sure your buckets are filled before you leave.
So they know where the goalposts are.
That's it.
Yeah. And that's Spartan, it's fucking not supposed to be easy. If it's easy, it doesn't change you. You don't get that reference point. That it doesn't develop that toughness. I just finished Joe DeCina's book, The Spartan Way, I think it's called, and he talks about the design of it like it's supposed to be challenging. You're supposed to be swearing by the end of the bucket brigade. Otherwise, there's no point doing it. So
you won't get that same feeling of pride if you didn't do it the hard way.
Definitely. You don't get that achievement, and you don't get that bolstered confidence that now you can take on things you didn't think you could before. So you're only cheating yourself if you don't fill it up. But sometimes people sometimes people just don't know the rules. Sometimes people just don't know.
Yeah.
So it's good to see. Obviously OCRs run on volunteers, and it's always good when you've got volunteers who know what they're talking about and know the right rules and tell people the right thing and inspire people. Yeah. So it's great to see you guys out on course and a heap of other volleys who are always there. And did you get a mind trifecta, Wayne?
Yes.
So what's a mind trifecta?
All right, so you got your three sides of the delta. Your first one being your normal Spartan races, sprint, super, beast. You can put the ultra or the stadium in there to replace that side of it, and you got your endurance trifecta, which would be the hurricane heats, the endurance side of things. So 4 hour, 12 hour agoge, and then the mind delta, the mind trifecta. It can come in various different ways, but mine being, it's about giving. So you're volunteering, you're learning, which is another part. So training with an SGX coach will get you one part of the mind trifecta. Yeah, I think there's about 8 different pathways that you can take to get that mind trifecta put together. Sure. For me, I'm a SGX coach, so I've got that part. So I've done the training for that, so I got that part. The next part was the volunteering, so that was 3 full shifts with Spartan. So you're really putting in and helping out with the whole camaraderie scene of everyone helping to get things done. And the last part was, it's going to elude me now.
No idea.
Put you on the spot.
SGX, no, it was Ambassador.
Okay.
So yeah, because I'm a
so
street
team promoting. Yep.
ambassador, yeah, that was my last part. So yeah, currently I'm taking on the SGX level 2 coaching, which will then enable me to be able to hand out 2 parts to the Mind Trifecta.
Awesome.
And then what we'll take at that point is, if someone did want to do that, come and doing the training sessions with me to achieve them, and then doing the volunteering side of things with Spartan Race to achieve that last pie piece to get that.
Yeah, awesome.
Which complete your delta.
Yeah. And how many medals do you have hanging in that garage there? Have you counted them? There's a lot.
I had a young bloke count me Spartan ones the other day, and the stadium race that I just did completed 50 Spartan races.
Awesome.
And then I've got all I don't know, I haven't counted all the ultra or marathon running races that we've done, Tough Mudders, Raw, True Grit and all the rest. I haven't counted that, but yeah, there's a few up there.
It's a lot.
The only reason I hang in there is just it's all experience. Everything that I've learnt is what we're willing to help people out along the way. And from what we've talked about at the start with our journeys in fitness, the weight loss, like I've been a truck driver all my life. Lorelai's been a nurse all of her life. So we've come from totally different fields to then end up being in this fitness world. And from whether the experience be coming from my truck driving days and losing weight, or coming from a digging deep moment in enduro, having to put that one foot in front of another to get that next lap done type thing. You know, there's just a lot of experience that I've gained, we've gained through what we've done.
Yeah.
The time I've been into it.
Yeah. So not only qualified in the SGX as a coach, and can walk the walk and talk the talk with your own stories, but loads and loads of actual experience on course. You know, getting through the obstacles, getting through the events in all sorts of conditions at all sorts of places, possibly in the wrong shoes. So
Yeah.
I've
done that too.
Oh, me too. I think I did my first Spartan. Well, I know I did my first Spartan sprint at Picton, and just had like the Nike runners on, and I just couldn't get out of the mud hills. I think tore my groin. I was it was terrible. So you'll learn.
It's a no-brainer for most people. They will turn up to their first event with their old pair of sneakers on.
Yep.
With no tread left on them.
Yep. And then just go skiing.
Yeah.
Which is where you tear the muscles, because you just get those little, like when you're running and you're 10Ks in and you're starting to get a bit crampy, and then you just have that foot slide out a little bit. That's when the little like muscles in your groin or something will go. But yeah, you've learned a lot of these lessons the hard way, which means you can teach, you can
That's
coach.
right.
So that's awesome.
Anyway, one of the key standout things for me in one of the first Spartan races I did was a rope traverse obstacle. So we'd come through, it was a Picton race, come through the dam, done the dam swim. I was all compressioned up. I had long compression pants on. I had long compression top on, trying to protect the skin more than anything. Got through the dam swim, come up to the rope traverse. I had no idea how to do a rope traverse at that stage. I got up there, I swung my legs over the rope, I grabbed hold of it, and I started dragging my legs backwards on the rope. And at that stage, I was all good because I was saturated. And because I was so wet, the compression pants were just sliding over the top of the rope. So I was getting across. Next minute, the dampness wore out. Like it just come to a point where friction dried out my compression pants, and it was literally like someone had pulled a handbrake up and grabbed hold of my ankles and just trapped me on the rope. I couldn't drag my legs any longer.
Yeah.
And I'd done that burpees throughout the whole event that I didn't want to do any more burpees. So now I'm stuck in the middle of a rope traverse thinking, how the hell do I get myself to the other end? I am not going to fall off this thing and do more burpees. So started dragging the legs out and working out how to swap the legs, and eventually pulled my ass over the other side of it and got away without doing the burpees for that one.
Awesome. Which is what I love about this sport, is sometimes you just do stuff and you like, how the fuck do I get through this? How am I gonna make my body twist? And you got to sort of think, and it is like a mental puzzle for your whole body, which is cool. And you usually learn those lessons the hard way. You know, I should say the lessons learnt the hard way are the ones that you remember. So, you know, when you get stubborn and you don't want to do burpees, you learn how to do something. It's that sticks. So, so what's next for you guys down there? What's your 2020 look like?
We're just going to plod along. Like, I had a shocker of a year for 2019. Got one of my big races done of the year, which was a 6-foot track. So it was a 45k up in the mountains, Blue Mountains to Genolan Caves. Killer event. It was on my to-do list. Needed to get it done. I was lucky enough I got in there because it's a lottery type event where you get pulled out of the hat to get into it. So I was very lucky to get into it. Got it done, and pretty much, like, I had a bit of a niggling problem with the knee at that point. You know, suck it up. Like, I did finish in time because it's a pretty harsh cut-off as well that you got to get through. From then on in, recovery after that was just injury after injury, and I just had a shocker of 2019. So I've learned from that, and it's all about building the base back up again and getting into it. I used to get by from what we do generally throughout the week in training on the obstacles, would keep us fit enough to go and do events and smash it out. Well, not so much smash it out, but just get the events done. But now that we're getting older, it's longer for us to recover, and niggling problems turn into big problems really quick. So more about being smart, building that base back up again, and just and getting into it one foot in front of another type thing, and not booking into an event 6 months in advance to then possibly have to sell the tickets or not be able to make it because of injuries otherwise. So just be smart in what we enter from now on in.
I think for me, I'm not really event focused at all at the moment. Might be terrible to admit that. But I guess I started my other business off this business last year doing counselling, and like, that's going well, and I've still got a lot to learn. I think I'd say that in 20 years about this field, but anyway, I still have a lot to learn. And, you know, I guess all my focus and energy are doing courses and all the stuff related to counselling at the moment. I'm still doing my running and bits and pieces, but with no real focus other than just kind of maintaining fitness to some degree.
Yep, and that was going to be my next question, was the overcoming obstacles. I was going to ask all about that. So give us a rundown.
Yeah.
What are you doing down there?
Yeah, so my background's mental health nursing. I did that for 20 years, mainly with adults, but I did 5 years with adolescents, which was the most difficult and rewarding job that I've ever done. They'll kick your ass. Yeah, you learn a lot with kids. Yeah. So I kind of was doing casual shifts there as I was doing the training and stuff here. And I had done, like, I'm one of those people that like to study but don't necessarily have, again, a goal in mind. I do those things. So I did this, like, counselling degree 5 years ago. That took me 5 years, mind you, around, you know, raising kids, working, everything else. So I was like, I worked my ass off for it, and then literally just put it in the filing cabinet. Years went by where I was still nursing, still training here. And then I just was finding there were some kids, usually kids, that would come here that were really anxious, didn't want to join the group, were really, like, freaked out when they got here. And I would just naturally migrate to them because that's my thing. Yeah, I'm like, hey, don't worry, Mum. So I kind of would spend more time with those kids and just say, it's okay, you don't have to be part of the group, I'll hang out with you, let's just play, it's okay.
Yep.
You know, and kind of get them through that way. So I probably did that a few times. And like a million cargo net clients, talking people over the cargo net. Before the penny kind of dropped that, hey, I could make this a thing. Like, I could actually use my counselling degree and my fitness degree together and do something unique. So, yeah, I started that last April. I didn't know if it was the way I said it to Wayne. I'm like, is this crazy? And he's like, no, I think it's okay. So then I was like putting it out to my friends on social media, is this crazy? And they're like, no, it's pretty cool. So I was like, all right, you know, it takes me a bit to get the confidence to do things like that. Maybe that was also my hesitation in starting it. It's a big thing, you know, when people want to tell you your issues, you want to be good at what you do. Like, that's a big, responsibility. So, yeah, I just put it out there, and I guess I've been busier than what I thought I would be, because I don't really promote myself. It's more just word of mouth, or people coming here and seeing the sign, or I put brochures out if they want to pick one up. But yeah, so it's been going good, and I see kids and adults. I try all different things. I've obviously used the obstacle course, although not so much in the last few months because it's been crazy hot. I've got like the traditional counselling room, 2 chairs. But obviously kids and teens don't usually like that. Teenagers generally like to talk while they're walking around, not much eye contact, but we'll talk quite freely if we're not staring at each other, I find. And I've just created a creative room as well, so I'm going to learn more about creative arts and expression through that, because, you know, I think kids and teens don't want to talk to adults. It's hard.
It's hard. And I think that's awesome, because you've taken, you know, a few areas, a few things that you're passionate about, and fused them together, and you found something new. And I think that's... And
I identify a lot more as counsellor than fitness trainer, to be completely honest. I mean, I do that, but it still sounds stupid. Like, I'm still like the lazy girl from school. So
I used to wag sport too.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, even my friends say on Facebook, I can't believe you run and stuff. So that doesn't, I don't know, that doesn't make sense to me still. Like, you can do fitness training, but it's still like, I'm not really a fitness trainer. It just sounds funny. I identify a lot more with that kind of caring role, if you like. Although fitness trainer is caring in a different way. Yeah. So no disrespect to fitness trainers out there.
How big do you think it's, you know, the physical side of the obstacles with the counselling? You know, how much, because it obviously is very different to you know, any other counselling that I've heard of, and I've seen clients that have changed their life dramatically after getting through courses, because you get that confidence. You know, how do you think that the obstacles change things for your clients and the people you're helping?
Well, it's a tactile way of working through stuff, if you like. And, you know, if they do have specific fears, like, you know, even if they're scared of monkey bars and the falling off monkey bars, I go, what's going to happen? And they'll say, I'll fall. And I said, you know what, let's just fall for a while. So we'll just practice falling over and over again until it's not scary anymore and they can reach for the next bar. Like, so it's just those little things, and you just kind of try and apply it. So that's mainly for kids. I haven't had an adult yet say, teach me stuff on the obstacle course, to be honest. Like, they mainly come and just want to talk. But yeah, with the kids, and it helps because there's a lot of kids out there that won't go see a counsellor. They won't have that they think it's just someone that's going to, like, you know, probe them for information and, you know, stuff like that. And it's like really scary. So when their parents sort of say, oh, there's this lady and, like, look what she does, and they see an obstacle course, they're like, oh, that's pretty cool, whatever, like, I'll give that a crack. So it seems less intimidating. It seems like that's what the parents say to me, that they're willing to come to me but no one else, because I do things differently.
Yeah, and sometimes that's what you need to do to get through to kids. And I think, you know, having the obstacle element is obviously getting those walls down enough for you to make that connection and build that trust, and you know, and give them the help they need.
Yeah, and just building that relationship. Like, you know, if we can run around and be silly on the obstacle course for a while, like, they then associate me with being a fun person that they want to come to, and, you know, they might talk to me about whatever else is going on, but we have to get that trust and that relationship first, and I think it's a great way of doing it.
Yep, awesome. How do people get in contact with you about that?
So I've got a Facebook page. Mainly, I don't even have a website. Like, I just keep it all on the small scale because I'm like,
Well, your internet's just broken up there for a second. Hopefully it comes back. Pick up the stream. Okay, I think we're back.
Can you hear us?
Yeah. So the last thing I heard was just talking about how to reach out and connect with you guys, and connect with you with the overcoming obstacles and the counselling. So you were just saying you run a Facebook page.
Yep. So it's called Embracing Obstacles. Which,
Embracing.
you know,
sorry.
Yeah. No, that's okay.
I had it written down. My iPad's gone to sleep.
That's fine. Yeah. So I guess it's got that meaning of, like, in life as well, rather than kind of looking at obstacles as this thing that they need to avoid. It's embracing it, learning how to work with it. I mean, and you can apply that to anything, anxiety, anything, you know, like, you go and fight that anxiety and it's going to come back harder. So, like, learn about it, like, what's it about, kind of how can we work with it, rather than, so it's that sort of thing. So that's why I called it that. I've just got a Facebook page, basically, and that's pretty much it. People just usually either call me or message me through the Facebook page.
That's all you need now. I don't think anyone has ever contacted me through my website. Everyone just sends me messages on Messenger. So awesome. So what I'll do, I'll put a little. What I might do is just go in and tag the Facebook page after. If anyone's interested in reaching out, and people are just letting me know we're back online. So we've been chatting for
a long time.
A minute 41 for this video, but I think we were over an hour before. So 2 pieces of advice, guys. You've got loads of obstacle experience between you. If somebody is looking at getting into obstacle racing or thinking about getting in, I guess what's 2 big pieces of advice that you would have for them? Maybe 2 each.
2 each.
There you go.
Just do it. Like, people will always sit on the fence. I'm not fit enough, and hold back in that way. It's just one of them things. Especially an obstacle event, the camaraderie and all the rest that's involved in it. You can go there and you can have some random person just pull you up over a wall. You could have any type of help getting through any type of obstacle, getting through as a first timer or a 50th timer person getting through a course. So my thing is just do it. Throw yourself out there. Get vulnerable. Wherever you want to be in that point would be. Yeah, just throw yourself in, just do it. You got.
Yeah, I kind of like that. Like, I think there's a lot of intimidation. I don't know if it's advice so much, but, like, I guess I always put out there that, like, we're really average. We're not elite racers. Like, sure, maybe we could be if we trained hard enough, but we don't. But, like, don't be thinking that you need to be like everyone else. Just be you and do it your way. Like, there's no, you know, and if you don't have supportive friends, like, make some new friends. They're shit. That's it. That's probably my main advice. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
And again, my personal experience is I've been a back of the packer in the majority of the events that I've done, and that's where I've had the most fun, in just chilling out, hanging out with people, having a laugh. Majority of the events that I've done, or majority of my friends that I grew up with, aren't into fitness now. So I've made a huge community of friends just being a back of the packer and having fun and chatting to people. I know, I've met so many awesome people in the time that I've been doing events. You're just running beside someone. How you going? Or you're walking beside someone, or you're trying to help them get across an obstacle. How you going? You need help. So you just meet people, which makes it so much better. And then you turn up to the next event, there they are again. How you going? How you been? So yeah, the friends and experiences that you'll come across when you're putting yourself into obstacles or just events in general, it will be awesome for your life.
Yeah, definitely. And if your friends aren't into fitness, come to a race. You're gonna make new friends.
You know what you need to do? Come to the Spartan race prep session at Burns Outdoor Obstacle Training. You will get new friends.
Definitely. Go and do some networking out there.
We'll be your friends anyway. We're friends with everyone. We like being friends.
And I couldn't agree more with you, Wayne. You know, for the first couple of years, and I guess before I sort of grew the coaching brand, I used to just run around on courses on my own. I used to just jump into a wave in the afternoon, into a fun run sprint. And I used to just love not knowing anyone and just meeting people on the course and just making friends. And you meet so many people with amazing backstories and people who have overcome so much to get where they are. You see amazing weight loss stories. You see people that have rehabilitated from injuries. People have overcome amazing mental challenges, maybe had depression and found obstacle racing and it fixed it. And you don't learn that stuff until you get out on a course and you start talking and you start asking questions. And I think one of the interesting things, and doing a hurricane heat, which I'll be doing at Oberon, is when you're forced into a challenging situation with a group of people, it creates that cohesion, creates that bond, and you're going to create friends for a really long time. And the obstacle community is just full of absolute legends. So if you're thinking about doing it, do it.
Just do it.
That's it. You'll get a new family.
Yeah, definitely. And I always end my chats with the same question. And just before I do, Bill's just saying, Bill Rushworth, amazing people, awesome training facility, so easy to communicate with. Something I definitely agree with. So we always end with the same question, which is funniest race moment. What's the funniest thing you've had happen, you've seen happen on a course?
We struggled with this one. I don't know. Maybe we're in a blur. We don't see things. I think
Repress those memories.
I don't know if it's funny so much, but we did a lot of long distance stuff together, Wayne and I. Not necessarily at our fittest stages. So I guess for me, I don't know if it's really that funny though. But we did the Ultra Trail 50 in the Blue Mountains together. Yeah. One year, and I for one, I don't think either of us were greatly trained, but I think was barely training, like maybe the odd 5Ks, which isn't what you do when you have 50Ks with a hell of a lot of stairs.
Unless you want to
hurt. Yeah, but that's me. I rock up and I go, I'll give it a crack. And we decided to do it together, poor Wayne. And I think I just gave him hell all day. It was like such a long day out. And every time I hurt, I go, next checkpoint, I'm out. And he'd say, what's wrong with you? And I'd what's your injury? And I'd go, well, I don't know, but I just hurt. And he's like, no, you're not. Yeah, carry on, shut up.
Nothing's broken yet.
Yeah. So I think we had some battles that day. He was always in a good headspace. I was always in a bad headspace. But we got through it. And we're still married. So that's kind of cool.
Survived. You can survive a UTA.
Yeah.
And yeah, who you're surrounded by is who you're supported by is all the difference. It's super important. If you're surrounded by optimistic people, happy people, it's gonna make your race a lot easier. You're going to be able to enjoy a lot more. So before we go, and I really do appreciate both of you guys taking the time to chat to me. We have spoken about the Sunday session out there that you can book at the address that I listed, which is BOOT, BOOT, Burns Outdoor Obstacle Training.net.au, and you do have to book a session before you come along. So was that 11 till 2 on Sunday?
Sunday, yep.
So that's pre-Oberon prep for anyone in Sydney or anyone travelling. What's the standard timetable out there, guys? For anyone else who's interested.
It's a bit confusing to try and explain.
Okay. So go to the website and have a look.
Huh?
So you got Saturday morning boot camp, 6:30 to 7:30. That's a 1 hour usually of workout on obstacles with physical efforts involved. That's just a boot camp.
Cool.
7:30 till 10:30 is the next session. So it's a 3 hour training session. Just come along. You can do the walkthrough part, learn about the course, go and do your own thing after that. The next session after that is 11 till 2,
cool.
which is when that Oberon one is happening. So it's another 3 hour session. And then in the afternoon, we have a 2 hour training session that goes from 3 till 5. So that's every weekend.
Cool.
Pretty much every weekend of the year. So other than when we're going and doing events somewhere.
Cool.
That's our time schedule for the weekend.
Yeah, cool. And did you guys just add some later night sessions? Did I see something about that during the week?
So they run through daylight savings only.
Okay.
So we've got a month or two left of them.
Cool.
So on Wednesday and Friday night, they run from 6 till 7:30. They're just called $15 free play.
Awesome.
But they're basically for people that have already been to us once to at least have done that induction first, because we don't give the training. We're more like just supervising in those sessions.
Cool.
Yeah.
So if anyone's looking to get out there and do a little bit of training, there's those daylight savings sessions you can take advantage of. Might be a good little afternoon. Can kids turn up for those as well?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Awesome.
As long as they've done a session with us before, anyone can come.
Awesome. All right, guys. And thanks for your time. Thanks for the chat.
Thank you. Nice talking to you.
We've had a heap of people stay on the whole time, so it's been awesome. A lot of people giving you some love.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
And I'll speak to you guys soon. I'll see you at Oberon if I don't see you before.
Awesome.
Cool.
See you
Thanks,
then.
Matt.